Hi everyone, this is Nina, and today I thought that I would just sit here and chat a minute about my journey, and in doing so I hope that it helps those of you that are also on your own journey. Of course, I have to say as a disclaimer, I am not a doctor. I have no knowledge of the medical field, and before you do anything, please consult your physician. They are going to lead you in the right direction for you. This is all, in my opinion, what I'm going to be talking about. So please just take it with a grain of salt until you do your own studies and talk to your own physicians. So, in saying that, I just want to say, many years ago, when the weight loss surgery was something that was just beginning to be popular. I was scared to death of surgery and chose not to do it. I kept saying to myself, I'm just going to do it on my own. I can do it on my own. I'm tough enough. I'm strong enough. I am able to do this on my own. And I did for a little bit. Never lasted long. I would fall right back down into that pit of just eating things that I shouldn't have eaten. And, it's probably been, it was back in probably 2010, maybe 2009, I'm not sure. But a friend of mine had weight loss surgery, and when she had it, I determined that I was going to lose weight, and I was going to prove to everybody that I didn't need that surgery, and that I was going to do this on my own, so to speak. So I tried for a little bit, and then wasn't doing very well, and I decided to join one of the weight loss programs that used to be in our town. It's no longer here now. But it was a very restrictive diet, and you would eat like protein bars. It was actually called Physicians Weight Loss. I don't even know if that's still a thing or not. But I did super great on that diet and lost 105 pounds and was so pleased with myself and so happy that it's like a switch just went off in my head. And I thought, I can go back to eating some of the things I used to eat. And I did. And it was just a matter of 3 months that I put that 105 plus pounds back on. Yeah. So I decided to go through the steps of getting weight loss surgery. And I went through a lot. You have to, at the time that I was doing it, you had to go see the doctors. You had to go to a nutritionist. You had to go to group sessions, watch all kinds of videos and read booklets and, a big ordeal to even be able to get in, so-called in line to have the surgery. Well, I did that, and then I would chicken out, and then I would do it again. I would go, the first thing that I would do is go to the big seminar, and then I would get all, I'm going to do this, and then I would chicken out. So the last time that I went, mind you that I went through it 3 times, and the last time I actually went down to a big city that's in Ohio, and traveled probably about an hour and 20 minutes one way. And I started going down there to that hospital and going through the nutritionist, going through the seminars, going through the classes, going through the nutritionist. I went through all of that and almost got to the point of scheduling my surgery. And guess what? Yep. I chickened out. And the reason I say chickened out is I now look back and I think, that I actually did chicken out. If I would have just pushed through those feelings of being, I kept thinking, oh, I can just do it on my own. I'm doing so good right now. Every time I would think that, and every time I would fail. So I'm telling you from my own experience as a morbidly obese woman that we tell ourselves all kinds of lies. And we tell ourselves that we're going to be able to do it this time, and things are different. I'm going to do this and I'm going to do that. And give us a couple months and we're back to where we began. I needed that surgery. I desperately needed that as a tool in getting myself on the right track and being able to stay on that right track without being able to resort back to eating the way I always ate. Now, the last time, as I was saying, I decided to quit, decided to try it back on my own again. Oh, what a mistake, you guys, because right after that is when I had a heart attack. My heart attack, thank God, he worked with me on that heart attack, and I'll explain why. I actually was having a heart attack for 4 days before I went to the ER. And once again, me in my own head kept telling myself, oh, it's probably just indigestion. Oh, that weight that I'm feeling is probably anxiety. All of those things kept coming back up in my mind. And of course, I listened to it. Well, the fourth night when I tried to lay down and couldn't breathe for the pressure on my chest, that's when I went to the ER, and that's when I found out I was having a heart attack. And what I meant by about thanking the Lord that He was there, dealing with my stupidity, is that He gave me 4 days when I could have just died the very first day. So He gave me that grace, and I'm so thankful for it. And I ended up having a triple bypass 3 days after my heart attack. And I have not honestly been the same since then. My wound in my chest didn't heal up well. And when it finally healed up, my chest and breast area are, when you're, put it this way, when your arm feels like it's fallen asleep and it's trying to wake up, like if you've laid on it half the night while you're sleeping. And then when you get up, your arm tries to wake up and it's got that tingling, like half asleep feel, which is a horrible feel, where it's not all the way numb, but yet you can't feel everything. Well, that's how my chest feels ever since my surgery. And it's uncomfortable. I still feel pressure and stuff because I have fibromyalgia. And a lot of times my chest bones down the middle, the sternum, would bother me. Well, of course, being cut open and your bones cracked, now it still bothers me, and probably worse because of that, being cracked open. And so here I am. This month, on the 25th, I'm going to be 60 years old. I am in heart failure. I am on so many medications. So I take 7 pills in the morning and 7 pills in the evening. That's 14 pills, and that's not including my vitamins. So now, I, as you guys know, the ones that have been watching me, you know that in December on the 17th, I went to the ER with trouble breathing. And I knew that I was retaining water, and I knew that my feet and legs and my stomach had just been bloating up and making it very uncomfortable to do anything. Matter of fact, as in even moving my ankle, my foot up and down, I couldn't hardly move it because my ankle was so tight, so filled with water. So while I was in the hospital, they took off 13 to 16 pounds of water weight. So ever since I've been home from the hospital, and today is the February the 4th, and in all that time I've lost a total, and that's including the water weight that the hospital got off of me, I've lost a total of almost 25 pounds within a few ounces. And it has moved so slow. And I have been 100% perfect on my diet. The only thing is now I can't move the way I used to move. I can't walk as much as I used to walk because of my heart. I can't exercise the way that I used to be able to exercise. So now, not only is it my weight and my health that's slowing me down, it's I just can't. I no longer can do the movement, the exercise. So all those years before, when I thought that I could take it off and keep it off, I was able to walk as much as I wanted. I was able to do hiking and do all kinds of stuff. I was always busy. Now I can't do those things, and I sit in my recliner where I'm sitting right now most of the day. I try my best to get up and clean the house up and, just piddle around a little bit every day. And that's about all I can do. When I go to the store to need groceries or whatever, I've been trying my best not to ride one of those buggies, the scooters. I've been trying my best to just hold onto a cart and push that around. And that takes all of my energy. So I guess what I'm saying is, I'm trying to just motivate you guys, if you're young, or even if you're not young and you're healthy and you don't have a heart problem and you do have a weight problem, do all that you can, but there's something about the weight loss. Now, I know several people that have had it done, and they have been miserable because of it. They some of them had to have surgery again. And a couple of the people that I know, now this is, these are people I know and I talk to. I'm not just saying people that I've read about. A couple of them have actually went into like anorexia, where they couldn't eat, and it flipped a switch in their heads. So they end up having to learn how to re-eat again. So, when you weigh the options with your physician's help, do what is best for you. I wish a million times that I would have went through with that weight loss surgery. There's different types now you can check into. I'm not even going to name them because your physician will tell you all about the different types that are out there. But yeah, I wish so bad I would have. Wish so very bad I would have. Because now I'm struggling, you guys. And I am eating so healthy, and I am watching calories. Matter of fact, I just dropped down in calories because I had started at a certain point. I'm not going to discuss that right now, how many calories or anything that I'm eating. But I started at a certain point and did that for the first, month and a half or so. And I noticed that my weight was just barely going down a couple ounces every week. And everything that I read kept saying that at my size, I should be able to drop weight at the beginning, fairly quick. It wasn't happening for me. And I talked to my oldest sister, and she was telling me that she watched her calories and watched everything that she put in her mouth. She even had that app that I'm using, the Lose It app. And she stayed at 1,400 calories for a whole year and never lost anything. So see, it has to do with metabolism. It has to do with if you can move, if you can exercise. And my oldest sister, like I've shared before, has had strokes. And so she's not healthy and able to really exercise. Matter of fact, she has to walk with a cane. So, I'm just telling everyone that when you get to be, in your 50s and 60s, yeah, you might think in your head that you've got all the time in the world, but you don't. Things can happen when you're obese and happen a lot faster. So I don't know. I'm just trying to share. I'm not making excuses. I am just trying to share my story in hopes of helping somebody. If you've already gone through the steps of having surgery, bariatric surgery, and you've chickened out, or, that's my word, chickened out. If you've just decided not to because you want to do it on your own, if you've already done that once and you are already in your mind thinking, I wish that I, would have stayed with it, please, please, please don't do like me and do that 3 times to yourself. One time, okay, so you changed your mind. If it comes back on your mind and your doctor says, let's do the surgery, I'm going to say, please, please, please have that surgery done. You are going to thank yourself. If not, you are going to be exactly where I'm at, thinking, man, if I could turn back time. Can't do that. None of us can do that. Please think about it. I also wanted to talk a little bit about how I'm doing right now. I have cut back a little bit more on my calories because of the fact that I cannot exercise the way I need to. I can do some of the chair exercises, and that is nice, but it is not like doing a cardio. I'm from the generation of jazzercise and all that, Richard Simmons and, all of the different exercise gurus that were in my, my time. And, of course, I can't do those things. So I had to cut back more on calories because of that. And I also now have implemented, which I've tried before, the intermittent fasting. But this time I have implemented it on my new program. And I've only been doing it for 2 nights. And so far, getting through the first 5 hours is the toughest. And after that, of course, you go to bed. And when I wake up, I'm not hungry. That's what's amazing to me, is I always woke up hungry when I was just, even if I stopped eating, I don't know, after dinner sometime. And then I would have a snack about 9 o'clock. And then I would wake up really hungry. Well, now I don't, of course, have that snack. I'm doing that, intermittent fasting, which I am actually doing the 16 hours of non-eating. And for me, that's worked out really well, within the last couple of days. We'll see how it goes a month from now. But I'm hoping and praying I can do that to help boost my weight loss, because yes, I am getting healthier. I've got to be getting healthier because I've been eating so much more like whole foods and plant-based foods and just doing a lot better in my choices. But I've got to get the weight off. I'm going to continue eating healthy like this with low sodium. But until I get the weight off, it's not really going to help my heart that much. Because right now my heart's having trouble pumping the blood quick enough through my large body. And I'll write up here in the corner what my condition is, and you can look it up. But I've got to get the weight off. There's no ifs, ands, buts about it. I've got to do it. And I've got to do it as quickly and healthy as I can. So that's the journey that I'm on now. And I know it's not going to be the exact same journey that you are on, because we all have physical limitations that are different from one another, and mental limitations that are different from one another. You know, I've struggled, and you guys all know this if you've been with me for a while. I have struggled with depression and stuff for most of my life. And I've been doing really, really well lately. I have a good therapist, and I am on medication now. They changed my medication about, I don't know how many months ago it's been, several months ago. And now I'm on something that I'm doing a lot better. I'm doing a lot better. Dealing with, things that are going on in my life. I'm dealing with them better now. I don't feel like I'm ready to cry all the time, So whatever's going on in your life, I hope that you are able to get the help that you need. I waited. Why did I wait? I don't know. But I waited all my life to get this help. And I wish that I would have went when I was younger. So I guess that's why I'm telling my story. And I'll say it again. If you're out there and you're, in your 30s or 40s, oh, please learn from my mistakes. Please learn from my mistakes. Yeah. That's all I can really say about it. I did want to say that I looked up online about weight loss and why my weight loss has been so slow. And it made perfect sense what I read. Is that, when God created us, we were like hunters and gatherers. And sometimes, we might not be able to find the game that we needed to eat. And maybe it was the wrong season and we weren't able to find the fruits and, natural vegetation that we needed to eat. Well, now, of course, we don't have to wait to gather and hunt our meals. Back at the beginning, it might have taken several days to be able to find a rabbit to eat or a deer or, you know what I mean? Might have been harder for them to find meat to eat. And now, of course, most of us have corner grocery stores all over our neighborhoods. And we can walk, some of us, or drive or ride a bike or whatever. It's just easy and it's there. So we're not waiting days or, to be able to find something to eat. We can find it all at our fingertips. And the thing is, most of us, 99% of us, think that, oh my goodness, I'm hungry. I got to eat right now. I got to eat. I'm hungry. And now I've come to realize, what's the big deal? Why can't we go hungry for a little bit? That's really how that God created us. We're not going to die from hunger if we wait, like in the intermittent fasting. If I wait 16 hours before I eat again, even though I might be hungry, I'm not going to die from that. So, yeah, I've learned a lot lately, reading and studying on exactly how our bodies were created and what we were designed to do. In that hunting and gathering, I'm sure they walked a lot. Ran maybe to go find, the things that they needed to eat. And I know this is, it's not going to make sense to some people, but if you think back to where we came from, where God created us and what He created our bodies to do and to be, and go back to that healthy way of eating. Yeah, we can, I know there are some vegetarians and stuff like that and vegans, but most people, for the most part, believe that, yeah, you can eat meat and veggies and all that. And I believe that's what God created us to eat. That's why we have the teeth that we have. That's why we have the stomach that we have. We're not like a cow that only eats like the grasses and grains where they have to have several stomachs in order to process all that. No, God created us, in my opinion, you guys, to be able to eat meat and fish and veggies and fruit. Now, what got all of us in trouble that are obese is the things that were not created by God, but were created more by man. All of the fats and all of the fast food and all of the sweets. And, years ago, I remember reading one of those diet books, and they were talking about stay on the outside of your grocery store when you go shopping. I have come to find that that is 100% accurate. Once you start going into the insides of your grocery store, that's where most of the processed food is, and that's what you need to stay away from. So I believe, of course, in having grains. Like my choice now for bread is a lot different. I used to eat white bread, and now I am eating like whole grain type of bread. Better for my metabolism to break down. And with me being a diabetic, I need, all the help that I can get. So that's my little tidbit for today. And I hope that I've been a help to somebody, anybody. I do know that a young lady in her 30s sent me the most wonderful email when I was taking the break from YouTube. And she let me know that what I had said when I was in the hospital resonated with her. That touched my heart, and she knows who she is. And she touched my heart. So one of the reasons that I've come back is because of her. She was one of the biggest reasons, because I thought that's all I've ever wanted to do. I wanted to be of some help to somebody. And so I wish her the very, very best. And she's in my prayers. So thanks everybody for listening to me. And I'm sorry I'm not really into showing myself right now. I kind of want to lose some weight and get some of this puffiness down out of my face before I come back on camera. That's why I've been doing some cooking videos and not showing my face. So just bear with me, stay with me, and when you see me on camera the next time, I at least hope some of the puffiness will be out of my face. It's already starting to go down, of course, where the doctors gave me the water pill. And by the way, with my new diagnosis, I have to take a water pill every day, probably for the rest of my life. And the doctor also put me on a new prescription. It was created for diabetes. It is Jardiance or something like that. I'll try to list it up above. But anyway, after it had been given to people for diabetes, they accidentally figured out that it actually helps people with kidney problems and people with heart failure. So that's what I'm on it for. I'm on it for the heart failure part. And I'm going to hope and pray that it works. The other drug that I've been on for probably, it's been a while. It is that Repatha. And that one is actually an infusion. And I put that on my stomach once a month. And it takes about 7 minutes or so for the medication to get down into my stomach. That is for my cholesterol. I've always had high cholesterol. So I just had my cholesterol checked last week, and I am proud to say and happy to say that my cholesterol is normal. That's a big, big deal for me. I'm so thankful for that. My triglycerides were super high, but I'm working on everything. That can be from being obese. And so, yeah, I'm working on that part. But my doctor, my heart doctor, was pleased with my cholesterol. And, you know, you have the good cholesterol that actually, you know, your body needs. Mine was always super low. And now that part is even coming up. So that's good. So yeah, my doctor, my heart doctor, was very pleased with my test results. And I know that eventually the triglycerides will go down. So anyway, just wanted to give you guys an update on me, on my tests that I'm doing that shows that I'm going in the right direction. And I wanted to just be here to help out if I can. So God bless you all of those of you that are following for whatever reason. If you just want to see how I'm doing, I appreciate all of you. So I will talk to you on the next video. Bye-bye.